Hello. Okay. Hello, everyone. Good night. Good evening. No, good night. Anyway, hello, everyone. Good evening. Welcome back to our English class. I hope everybody is doing well. No, even if you are or you came from your work, I hope everybody is settled in and, of course, ready for our session for this evening. Again, welcome everyone, especially to a brand new chapter in our learning journey this evening. Now, over the past few sessions, we have focused extensively on the people in our lives, right? Our mothers, fathers, teachers, and even strangers. So, we've discussed how they work. We've discussed how they feel and how they relate to one another. But there is one universal thing that connects every single person that we have studied. So, regardless of whether they are a boss in an office or a child at a play, the need for nourishment and the joy of sharing a meal, today we begin our exploration of food vocabulary. Now, this is a topic that is not just about survival, but also about culture, health, and of course, community. Now, food, we know food is a language of its own. Just as we learned that a chef in the people topic or people vocabulary last few meetings, that chef uses creativity to delight customers in a restaurant. So we are going to learn the vocabulary necessary to navigate the world of flavors, the ingredients, and even the dining experiences. So whether you are at a home, in the kitchen, ordering at a cafe, or maybe shopping at a local market. So the words you describe what you eat are essential for daily communication. Now, in this unit, 1, lesson 9, we will move beyond basic levels and labels and dive into how food is prepared, how it tastes, and the roles it plays in our social lives. So we will start by identifying the building blocks of our diet. So we will look at the vibrant colors of fresh fruits and vegetables, the energy provided by grains, by proteins, and of course the importance of hydration. So understanding these categories is much like our last exercise where we categorized people into groups like family and work. So here we will categorize food to better understand nutrition and meal planning. So we will also learn how to describe textures and tastes. Is the dish sweet, savory, spicy, or sour? So being able to express these preferences is a key part of becoming a confident English speaker. So we're going to sharpen our appetites for knowledge, everybody. So food is a celebration of life, and through this unit, we will gain the tools to share the celebration with others. Okay, are you ready to take your first bite into this delicious set of vocabulary? I hope everybody is ready. Okay, let's take maybe a short breather. A simple inhaling and exhaling would do. Okay, inhale, exhale. Okay, that one. Another one, last one. Inhale, exhale. Okay, let out those negative energy. Anyway, we're going to move right into the objectives. I've mentioned this one already that um food vocabulary, food is more than just something we eat. It is a way to share our culture and stories with others. So in this lesson, everyone, we will explore new vocabulary to describe our favorite tastes, learn how to talk about different meals, and practice the English we need for dining out. So let's get ready to talk about the flavors of the world. Of course, there are different categories as I've mentioned earlier. So we are going to start. Let's just see for now. What are the different categories? No, you are expected to learn. First is of course the fruits, followed by vegetables, dairy products, meat and seafood, grains and bread, drinks, sweet and snacks. Oh, that's the last one. So there are how many categories? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. There will be seven categories. Each category has a five vocabulary pertaining to that. Okay. All right. Now we are going to start our first. So we are going to officially start our lesson about food. We are starting with fruits, which are some of the most colorful and tasty things we can eat. Now, a fruit is a part of a plant that carries seeds. So, in this lesson, we'll learn about five common fruits: the apple, the banana, orange, grape, and strawberry. Now, we will look at more than just their names. We'll talk about how they feel when you touch them, how they taste, is it sour or sweet, and of course, the vitamins they give our bodies. So, learning these words will help you talk about eating healthy, shopping at the market, and of course, it helps you to talk about cooking delicious meals if you can. Maybe more on when it comes to fruits, it's better to eat it as it is, but you can also include it in maybe baking, no? As simple as cake. All right. Now, these are the different fruits or main fruits that we are going to include, but there are plenty of fruits there that exist in the present. We are going to start with, okay, this is what? This is apple. Okay. So the first fruit is apple. Now apples are a tasty and healthy snack option. So the apple is one of the most famous fruits in the world. Okay? So as we can see in our lesson, apples are a tasty and healthy snack option. One of the most important things about an apple is its texture, no? When you try to eat it, especially if it's in a good condition, it is crunchy or it is crisp, and this is because the inside of the apple is full of upon researching, I found out that the inside of the apple is full of tiny cells that hold the water and the air together. So when you take a big bite of an apple, these cells pop, and that is what makes the loud crunching sound. Okay, so the skin of an apple is, you know, it's a bit tough, which helps protect the fruit inside. And this means that you can carry an apple in your bag without it getting messy. No, because it already has the skin as its protective cover. Now, there are many different kinds of apples. Some are bright red, some are green, and some are yellow. So, a green apple tastes a bit like sour or tart, while a red apple, just like what you see here on your screen, they are usually sweet. When it comes to this particular fruit, apples are also very useful for cooking. Why? Because they are firm, so they stay in one piece even when you bake them in an oven. So if you eat an apple with the skin on, when it comes to its, health benefits, of course, there's plenty of health benefits that you can get when you eat an apple. If you eat an apple, including its skin, of course, cleaned, you get a lot of fiber, no? Which is, of course, great for your stomach. It also has vitamins. What kind of vitamins? The vitamins that help you keep from getting sick. That is why there is a famous saying, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Are you familiar with that? Again, an apple a day keeps the doctor away. So if you eat an apple a day, it helps you from getting sick and of course from seeing a doctor. So when we talk about apples, we use words like peel. Why do we use peel? Because we peel for the skin if you don't like the skin. But of course, apple can also be eaten as it is. No peeling at all. You can eat with the skin. You can also say core. You can also use the word core. Um, when we talk about core, this is for the center where the seeds are. And we can also associate apple with juice, no, for the liquid inside. Oh, apple juice is a very common juice, type of juice that people prefer to drink. Okay, so apple is our first fruit of the day. Now, apple is very, is the most common, I think. If not, um, apple would always be the most common. For a moment, okay. So apple is the most common fruit. That is why when we try to teach no letters to students, and we try to associate letter A, the first letter of the English alphabet. A is for apple. It's usually like that. No? Apple. So apple is our first fruit. Now let's move on to banana. This one, not the second one. Now, the banana is a very special fruit because, as mentioned here, it is packed with energy and nutrients for you. So, unlike the apple, which is hard and crunchy, right? A banana is soft and creamy. So, when a banana is still on the tree, it is green and very hard. And as it stays off the tree, it ripens and it will look like this color yellow, usually. Okay, because there are plenty of different types of banana. There are bananas that does not change in color, but it ripens. Okay, so this means that when we talk about ripens, usually in certain bananas, this means that it turns yellow, and of course it becomes softer and sweeter inside. Okay? So if a banana stays out for too long, if it's after it ripens and you did not eat it immediately, it gets brown spots, which shows that it is really very, very ripe already. And of course, since it's very ripe, it is to be expected that it is also very sweet. Okay? That is banana. Now, bananas, like this, they grow in hot tropical places where there is a lot of rain. Just like where I live, there are plenty of banana trees here, even beside our house. So they grow in big groups called bunches. One of the best things about banana is its peel. Okay, its peel. So the peel is like a natural wrapper. You can peel it easily with your hands. No, you won't be having a hard time peeling a banana, especially if it is ripened, because it's very easy to rip it. No, rip the peel. Now, the fruit inside stays clean, of course, until you are ready to eat. So just like with apple, there is a protective cover of the inside of the fruit. But if we compare the two, apple, the skin of the apple, you can eat it. No, it's your own preference. But the skin of the banana, usually it does not get eaten. No, you throw it out. Okay, so you only eat what's inside. That is on the banana skin. Now, talking about the health benefits, bananas are famous for having a lot of potassium. So potassium is a mineral that helps your muscles really stay strong. That is what it is famous for. And because bananas are very soft, they are a great food for people at all ages. May it be not really a baby, but a child, or even the eldest, your grandmother or your grandfathers or grandparents in total. No? So you can eat them raw, no? Put them in a smoothie. You can also do that. And you can also even smash them up just to make bread. No, banana bread, banana cake, or what kind of baking you do, you can always use banana because it's easy to blend it out, or it's easy to use it. So when we talk about banana, there are certain words that we can attach to it. For example, the word peel. Why? Because we peel it, no? Because we eat the inside. and throw out the peel. And the next is ripe. I have mentioned bananas ripens. And what's the color it usually give? It is color yellow. And of course, energy, no? Because of its health benefit. That is banana. Any questions so far before we continue? I'll be waiting. Five, four, three, two, one. Okay, none. That's good. But of course, don't hesitate, everyone, huh? Don't hesitate to ask questions. There is a chat box there. I will I will constantly check it, no, the comment box or comment section, so that I can see if there are responses in your end. Okay, you're encouraged to do or to give responses. May it be a statement, an agreement, or a question. Okay, all right. Let's continue with the third fruit. This is orange. Again, how do we say it? Orange. There are two syllables. First is O. Second is wrench. So we say it together, orange. Again, orange. Now, the orange fruit is a fruit that is refreshing and rich in vitamin C daily. So the most important thing about an orange is its juice. No? So when you open an orange, you will see that it is divided into different segments, or maybe you can say it as slices. Now, each slice is full of tiny bugs of juice. We know that, right? So you will see that it is divided into segments or slices. So the outside of the orange is covered by a thick skin called a rind. Okay. So this skin has a very strong fresh smell because it contains natural oils. So when you peel an orange, you can often smell it from across the room. Okay. Oranges, this kind of fruit, everyone, they are very important for our health because what? As mentioned here, they have a lot of vitamin C. Now, this vitamin C, it helps our body stay strong and fight off, getting sick or fight off the colds. So there are different types of oranges. Some are used mostly for making orange juice, which is it's famous for, and others are better for peeling and eating it as, sorry for that. Let's go back again. It could be an orange juice, or you eat is it is it as it is. Of course, you peel it and eat it as a snack. And of course, when we talk about or describe its taste, it is a mix of sweet and tangy. Okay, again, sweet and tangy. So in the kitchen, people use more often than just the juice. They sometimes use the zest, which is the very top layer of the orange skin, just to add a squish flavor, just to add a fresh flavor to cakes or meat, no? So they scrape the top layer, okay, when it comes to the oranges. That just, to make it pretty as well as to add fresh flavor. Now, when we talk about orange or oranges, we learn words like citrus, squeeze, segments or slices, and even refreshing. Okay, that is orange. Now, any questions? Okay, let's move on to grape. Oh no. All right, let's go back. That one. Grape are as described here. They are a perfect. They are a perfect bite-sized snack for everyone. Now, they are different from other fruits because they grow in clusters or bunches on long vines, as to what you can see here. Grapes come in many colors like green, they could also be red and even dark purple. And the skin of a grape is usually very, very thin. So you can eat the whole thing, no? The inside of a grape is is juicy and clear. So some grapes have small seeds in the middle, but many people prefer seedless grapes because they are easier to eat quickly. You're just gonna pick the grape and then eat it. You don't need to, you don't need to throw out any seeds, no, or peel anything, because you can eat it as it on its own. Now, this particular fruit, the grapes are very healthy because we can say them as antioxidants. So these antioxidants, we say it as we take it as a special thing in the fruit, inside the fruit, that helps keep your heart that helps keep your heart healthy. And for this fruit, grapes are also very flexible. Why? Because you can eat them fresh. What other thing you can do? You can dry them out in the sun, no? And when a grape is dried out in the sun, it turns into a raisin. Okay? Raisins are very sweet and can be kept for a long time. So people also use grapes to make juice and other drinks, just like with any other fruit. And because grapes are usually small and they grow in branches, they are a great fruit to share with other people because you can just pick it and eat it on its own. Now, when we study grapes, the words we can associate with it is or are vine, the bunch, no, seedless, sweet. That is grapes or grape. So sorry for that. Anyway, let's continue with the last fruit, strawberry. Again, the last fruit is strawberry. Now, the strawberry is a favorite fruit for many people, no? Because it is delicious, as mentioned here, it is delicious and great for summer desserts. Now, it is easy to find, how do you call that? It is easy to find, um, it is easy to find this particular fruit because it is bright red and shaped like a heart, just like what's in the picture. So one very strange thing about strawberry is that, sorry, the seeds of the strawberry, unlike any other fruit, the seeds of the strawberry are on the outside. So outside, it's in the skin, no? The seeds of the strawberry. So if you look closely, you will see many tiny yellow dots on the red screen. Let me zoom it in for you. Uh, you can see that, right? These are this is the skin, and as you can see on the skin, there are different seeds, no? There are many tiny yellow dots on the red skin. So that is, or those are the different seeds. Again, the seeds of the strawberry is outside. No, it's on the outside. It belongs outside. Okay? Anyway, this is strawberry. Let me go back to its original position or size. Okay. Now, this particular fruit, the strawberry, is soft and juicy, and it has a very sweet smell. Okay. So strawberries, they grow best in the spring and summer, and they are perishable. So perishable, it means that they do not stay fresh for a long time. They easily get what? They easily get bad. So you have to eat them soon after they are picked. Okay? Because strawberries are really soft and they can be crushed easily, so we must handle them with care. Now, strawberries, when it comes to its health benefit, it has a lot of vitamin C, just like oranges. No, people love to use them in desserts like cake, like ice cream or jam, and they're also great to eat just by themselves. Now, the words we can associate with strawberries are descriptive words like sweet, sweet taste, red color, red skin, berry, and of course, fresh. Okay, let me just check the. Okay, those are the different fruits that we've mentioned or discussed. So there are only five that I included, but again, everyone, there are plenty of them. Let's try to read it again. First is apple, second, banana, three or third, oranges, fourth, grape, fifth is strawberry. Any questions? None. Let's move on to the next category. Again, our first category is on fruits. The next or second category is on vegetables. So, welcome to our new section on vegetables, everybody. Now, if fruits are not are nature's candy, then though vegetables are considered as nature's building blocks. No? So a vegetable is any part of a plant that we eat as part of how do you call that? As part of a savory meal. So that's that. Okay? Now, how do you call that? A vegetable, no, since it's part of a savory meal, including its roots, its stems, its leaves, and even more some savory fruits. In this lesson, we'll learn about five essential vegetables. First is carrot, followed by potato, tomato, lettuce, and onion. Okay, so we will move beyond just naming them to understand how they feel. Is it crunchy, soft, and how they are used in the kitchen and why they are vital for our health. Now, mastering these words will help you understand recipes, shops for groceries, and talk about the balanced meals that sustain us every day. Okay? All right. Let's start with the first vegetable, that is the carrot. Now, the carrot is very popular. They are very popular vegetable that is easily recognized by its bright range orange color. Okay? As noted in your materials, carrots are crunchy and great for your health. Okay? So the most important thing about a carrot is that it is a root vegetable, meaning the part we eat grows underground, and this makes the carrot very firm and crunchy when you eat it raw. So when you take a bite of a fresh carrot, it makes a snapping sound, which is a great way to tell that it is fresh if it is crunchy. So the carrots are famous for being very good for your eyes. They contain a lot of what kind of benefit? They contain a lot of beta carotene, which our bodies turn into vitamin A. So this helps us see better. No, that is the purpose of the carrot. Usually, it helps to see you better, especially when it is dark outside. While most carrots we see are orange, they can also be purple, yellow, or white. In the kitchen, carrots are very flexible, so you can eat them raw as a snack, chop them up into small pieces for a salad, or cook them in a soup until they become soft. So when we talk about carrots, we associate it with words like root, peel, crunchy, and vitamins. Okay, that is carrot. Next is potato. Now, the potato is one of the most important vegetables because it provides a lot of energy. So potatoes are versatile and can be mashed. No, so that particular lesson will describe potatoes are versatile and able to be mashed. So like the carrot, the potato grows underground, but is usually or it is actually a tuber, which is a thick part of the modern system that stores food for the plant. So potatoes have a thin skin on the outside and a pale starchy inside. When raw, a potato is let's say a potato is really an important vegetable. Okay, like the car potatoes grows underground, so it is actually a tuber. So the thick part of the stem that stores food for the plant, potatoes have a thin skin on the outside and a pale starchy inside. So when raw, a potato is very hard, but when you cook it, it becomes soft and fluffy and fluffy and yummy. So potatoes are versatile because there are so many ways to cook them. You can boil them, bake them, fry them, or mash them into a smooth, creamy dish. So they are full of carbohydrates. No, that's the benefit you can get, which give your body the fuel it needs to stay active all day. And many cultures around the world use the potato as a staple food, meaning it is a main part of almost every meal because they can be stored for a long period of time. Okay? So they are very reliable vegetable to have in our kitchen. Okay, thank you. Anyway, that is potato. Next is tomato. Again, tomato. So they are almost the same when it comes to pronunciation with potato. Again, the third fruit is tomato. Now, the tomato is a very interesting vegetable because botanically it is actually a fruit. No, it is actually a fruit. So in the kitchen we treat it as a vegetable. Your materials state that tomatoes are key ingredients in many dishes, in many dishes. So a ripe tomato is bright red, just like this one, very juicy, that's just like this one, and soft inside. So inside it is filled with many tiny seeds and a lot of water. Because they are so soft, tomatoes must be handled carefully so they do not get crushed. No? So tomatoes are a key ingredient because they provide the base for so many food like pasta sauce, pizza, and ketchup. So they have a flavor that is a mix of sweet and savory, and um how do you call that? Tomatoes are also very healthy. No? So when it comes to the health benefits, they have lycopene, which is an antioxidant that helps protects your heart. So you can grow tomatoes in a small garden or even in a pork pot on balcony. And they come in many sizes from my cherry to large six of okay, six of demand. So that's like that one. So that is tomato. Okay? So you can grow tomatoes in a small garden because they are small or tiny usually, but there are big ones. So you can grow them in small garden or even in a pot on a balcony. So they come in many sizes from tiny cherry tomatoes to large beefsteak tomatoes. So when we talk about the tomatoes, the use words like ripe, juicy sauce and seeds. Okay? That is tomato. Next, lettuce. Lettuce is a leafy green vegetable that is essential in salads for green. So instead of growing underground like a carrot and a vine, like a tomato, lettuce grows. So the most common types of lettuce are very sharp and watery. Okay, so when you pull out a length of that lettuce, it makes a fresh cracking sound because lecture lettuce is mostly made of water, so it is very refreshing to eat on a whole day, hot day usually. Now, lettuce is the foundation of almost every salad. It is very low in calories, but it provides fiber and vitamins that are good for your digestion. So it is usually eaten raw to keep its crunch, but it must be washed thoroughly with water to make sure it is clean. No? Some types of lettuce have long, um dark leaves, while others grow in tight around balls. So it is a friendly vegetable that goes well with almost any other food, like cucumbers or tomatoes. So learning about lettuce helps us use words like really, crisp, fresh, salad, and etc. Okay, that is the lettuce. Any questions? None. Let's move on to the last vegetable, onion. Now, the onion is a vegetable that, as we know, it adds flavor to countless, countless culinary creation. So, an onion is a bulb which is what do you call that? Which is a round part of the plant and that grows. So, just below the surface of the soil, it is made of many thin layers wrapped tightly across each other. Okay. All right. So other onions, onions have a very strong smell and sharp taste when they are raw. One famous thing about onions is that they can make your eyes water when you drop them. Even though they can be strong, opinions are used to vary in small contexts like this. So what is its full name? Delatar. Anyway, it differ, no? What kind of time are we giving to you? Anyway, that is the onion. So we associate words like layers, bowl, flavor. So that is vegetable. Okay. All right. Again, let's do a quick recap on different vegetables: carrot, potato, tomato, lettuce, and onion. For fruits, apple, banana, orange, grape, and train. Okay, that is, or those are different words that we've discussed so far. Any questions? None? Okay, let's do a quick break of 3 minutes before we continue with another category. Okay, welcome back, everyone. I hope everybody is settled in and is comfortable in your own spaces. I hope also we get a proper, rest from the discussion so far. So far, we've discussed 10 words or 10 food vocabulary already. I hope it is not overwhelming. If it is, you can always look back to this video. Okay? All right. So far we discussed on fruits and vegetables. We are going to continue with the dairy products. Okay? Now, it is focusing now on the section on dairy products. So these are the special foods that are made from milk. And dairy is very important because it gives our bodies calcium and protein, which act like a fuel for our bones and muscles. So in this part of the lesson, we will look at five essential dairy items, like what? Like milk, cheese, butter, yogurt, and cream. Okay, so we will learn how each one is made, how it feels, and how it makes our food taste better. So, understanding these words will help you talk about breakfast, baking, and healthy eating habits. First off is, of course, milk. Now, milk is the most essential for strong bones and teeth. It is also the most basic dairy product and the start of everything else in this category, the other words here. And it is a white liquid, no, just like this one. It is very smooth and light because it has plenty of calcium. No, so it is a very important drink for everyone to have every day. It is a drink, basically. So, most people here drink milk cold in a glass, or if not cold, they pour it over their cereal in the morning, or even drinking it as a hot drink, no, so hot milk. In my own preference, I would want to drink hot milk, but of course I am also okay with a cold drink. No, I drink the milk cold. So milk is also a very important part of cooking. If in certain instances, uh, milk, you can add it to tea or coffee. Why? Because it make the taste softer. No, if you are really not used to strong coffee, you can put milk on it to lessen, no, the strong strong effect of the coffee. You can also use milk to make a creamy soup. No, so when milk is fresh, it has a very clean and mild taste. Now, in many countries, milk is delivered fresh to homes or bought at the market every few days. So, when we talk about milk, what words we can associate with it? We can use words like calcium. No, that's the very benefit of it. Liquid, fresh, and of course, drink. Okay, that is milk. Next, cheese. Now, cheese, it is a food made from milk that has been made solid. Cheese adds flavor and richness to many dishes, as mentioned here. So there are many different types of cheese. Some are hard, like the cheese you grate over pasta, and some are soft and creamy. No, so cheese comes in different ways, no, like the kind you spread on a cracker. That's we use the soft and creamy cheese, or if you want to grate over it, you use solid ones, no, just like you put it in a spaghetti, for example. So cheese can be many colors, but is usually white, yellow, or orange. Those are the different common or basic colors for cheese. And additionally, this particular food, the cheese, is a great way to get a lot of protein in a small snack. No, it has this savory or salty taste that people love, like me. And one of the best things about cheese is how it changes when it gets hot. Most cheeses will melt and become very stretchy and gooey, which is why we use them on pizza and in grilled sandwiches. And when we study cheese, the words we can associate with it are melt, no, slice, salty, and solid. Now that is cheese. Moving on to before that, let's try to check if everything's all right in your end, everybody. Are we good so far? For a moment, let me check the comment box. Okay. I also checked the stream. Oh, it's totally fine. Anyway, I see. I guess you're very shy. You can always just as long as you thought of something in your end, that's totally good already. No? That is what about your answer to my question, which is are you okay so far? No? Okay. So those are so far the dairy products. First is milk, and then second is cheese. Now, let's move on to the third one. That is butter. Again, the third one is butter. So butter, this is the science and soul of churning. So butter is far more than just a yellow block in the fridge, because usually you put it in a fridge or cold container. It is a, you know, how do you call that? It is a culinary foundation. Why? Because it to make butter, people take heavy cream and really shake it very hard. So it is a very famous food all around the world. No, this shaking that I mentioned earlier, it is called churning. 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 So when you churn the cream, the fat stays together and it becomes solid. So the liquid that is left over is called buttermilk. No? So for a long time, people made butter by hand in big wooden jars. Today, of course, we use big machines to make butter in factories so that we can buy it at a supermarket. No? Now, butter, it changes when the temperature changes. This is very important for cooking, because if you keep butter in the refrigerator, it is cold and hard. You cannot spread hard butter on the bread because it will break the bread. If you leave butter in the kitchen table for 1 hour, it becomes soft. This is called room temperature butter. So soft butter is very easy to spread on toast. If you put butter in a hot pan, usually it melts. No, it turns from a solid yellow black into a gold liquid, just like this one. Oh, that one, that's a liquid. And then this is the solid yellow black. And of course, let's just do a quick side note. That is physical change in science, no? Now, why do people love butter? No, we get curious about it. Why do people love butter? Because why? Because it makes the food taste rich and delicious. No, it has a lot of fat, and fat carries flavor to our tongues. And in the kitchen, the butter is a must-have ingredient. So when you fry an egg, you put a little butter in the pan first. No, you can do that. This stops the egg from sticking to the metal, and it also gives the egg a salty, creamy taste. So in baking, butter is a secret ingredient. When you bake a cake or cookies, butter makes them soft and moist. And without butter, bread would be very dry and hard to eat. No? So how to use this butter? There are many ways to enjoy the butter. Many people like to eat bread and butter with their dinner. Some people put butter on top of a hot potato or green vegetables like broccoli. In some countries, people cut butter in their own coffee to give them energy. So when we talk about butter in in English class, we use action words like action words. Yeah, we associate words like spread, melt, whip, bake. No, so it is a very simple food, but it's one of the most important things in any kitchen. Okay, all right. So far, we talked about milk, cheese, and butter. We move on to the last two. First is yogurt. Now, yogurt is a tasty snack and full of probiotics. This is a yogurt is very thick. Not I know, not very thick, but it's thick in consistency. It is creamy dairy food, and like butter, it starts as milk. No, but yogurt is made in a special way. To make yogurt, we add good bacteria to the warm milk. And these bacteria are not the kind that make you sick. Of course, good bacteria, they are probiotics. No, they are like tiny helpers for your body. So the bacteria eat the natural sugar in the milk and turn it into acid. This acid makes the milk go from a thin liquid to a thick, smooth food. And this process is called the very famous one, fermentation. Okay? Okay. Now, you might be curious, what is the taste of yogurt? It's different. It varies. But if we talk about the basic plain, the most plain, type of yogurt, it has very special flavor. It is not sweet like a cookie, and it is not salty like a potato chip. It is tangy or sour. So this sour taste come from the good bacteria. Many people think that yogurt is very refreshing because it is served cold. The texture is usually very smooth and creamy. So some yogurt is thin enough to drink, but some yogurt, like Greek yogurt, is very thick. Okay? So you can hold a spoon of Greek yogurt upside down and all you will not fall. Okay? So that's how thick it is. No, the yogurt is very thick, really, because again, as mentioned, you can hold a spoon. Is especially the kind of Greek yogurt, it will not fall. Okay, so um, this is yogurt, and just like any other, is it healthy? Well, yes, yogurt is one of the healthiest foods you can eat. The probiotics inside the yogurt help your stomach digest food better. It also has a lot of calcium, which makes it, you know, which makes it which makes your bones and teeth very strong. Many people eat yogurt for breakfast because it gives them protein. If you want to stay healthy, eating a cup of yogurt every day is allowed. Okay? All right. Now, what is the best part of cream milk? Part of milk, let's just say. Okay, are we good so far? I hope, even though that was just, less than a minute, I hope it clears out anything, no? What you're feeling or what you're thinking. Anyway, that is yogurt, no? Again, yogurt. So yogurt is just like with any other probiotics. As mentioned earlier, it includes probiotics, which is good for your stomach, no. It also has actually a thing, I think it no, not I think, but it has also a lot of calcium, no, calcium, which makes your bones and teeth very strong. So that is for yogurt, and many people eat yogurt for breakfast because it gives them protein, and protein helps your muscles grow and keeps you feel fulfilling full until fulfilling full it helps you or it keeps you feeling full until lunchtime, no, like that. So if you want to stay healthy, eating a cup of yogurt every day is a great habit, but of course, for me personally, it would be in moderation, no, not every day. Now, yogurt, you can eat yogurt in many different ways. If you like sweet food, you can add honey, you can add sugar or fresh fruit like strawberries and blueberries. This is a common dessert. No, this is a common dessert. So if you like salty food, you can use yogurt as as a sauce. So, yeah, this makes a cool sauce for bread. No? So that is yogurt. Now, let's move on to the last dairy product we have here, cream. Again, cream. Cream is perfect for adding richness to desserts. So, cream is the thickest and richest part of the family. If you have fresh milk from a farm and let it sit in a bowl, the fat will rise to the top. No? This top layer is the cream. It is much heavier than regular milk in the past. Milk. So, um, in the past, farmers would use a big spoon to skim the cream off the top. So today we buy different types of cream at the store. Some cream is for coffee, and some cream is very heavy and thick for cooking. So that is cream. Now the coolest Sorry. The coolest thing about cream is that it can change its shape. If you take heavy cream and shake it or whisk it very fast, air gets trapped inside. So the cream becomes fluffy and white like a cloud. So this is called whipped cream. Now people love to put whipped cream on top of cakes, pies, and hot chocolate. It looks like a beautiful white, mountain. If you keep asking the cream for too long, the air bubbles will pop out and turn into butter. Okay? All right. Um Again, this is not butter, I'm sorry. This is cream. No? So chefs love using cream because it makes food feel silky. No, silky, luxurious. So when you add cream to a soup, the soup becomes thick and smooth. No, it changes the color from dark to light. For example, tomato soup becomes cream of tomato. Soup cream makes the flour favor of the fold. And very mellow and soft is also used in the marketing. Okay? Okay. I think it will be the same case. Special test. A special test, a special treat. Now, cream is not a food that you drink a big glass of, like milk, because it has so much fat. We usually use only a little bit, so we use it to make other foods taste better. You can pour a little cream into your tea or coffee table to make it less bitter. So if you can pour it over a bowl of strawberries for a simple dessert. When we talk about cream, we use words like rich, thick, heavy, and smooth. So it is a special ingredient for many partners. Okay? All right. Now, please be reminded cream is not a food that you drink in a big glass of milk because it happens so much we usually use only a little bit, so we use it to make other foods taste better, food or taste better. We can also pull that out. Okay, so that is rich, thick, heavy, and smooth. Okay, that is a cream. Now, any questions so far? Any questions so far? So these are different dairy products: so milk, cheese, butter, and yogurt. Let me talk for you. Okay. Okay. So that is food vocabulary. Now, so far, everybody, we've tackled about three categories. First is fruits, followed by vegetables, and third is dairy products. So there are still more posters left. No? Okay, that is dairy products. Now, since already almost time, we have explored, no, everybody, the delicious world of food today. Part 1. This is part 1. We're going to continue with part 2. So, from the richness of a batter to the healthy probiotics in yogurt and the silky texture of a cream, we now have the words to describe what we eat. Food is more than just fuel. It is a way to connect with others, and share our cultures. So as you go home right now, it doesn't mean that you will have a class usually because what? Because it's just like that, no? So those are we have explored the delicious world of food today. Three categories only, from the richness of the butter to the healthy probiotics in yogurt and the silly texture of cream. So we now have the words to describe what we eat. Food is more than just fuel, no? As mentioned here, it is a way to connect with others and share our cultures. So as you go home tonight and pay for your dinner, try to think much of the English alphabet, okay? All right. So, thank you everyone for your hard work, and I will see you again next meeting. No? Goodbye, everybody. Okay. I think everything's good. Goodbye, everybody, and have a great rest of the night ahead.